Hey guys, what's going on? Nexies here, bringing you guys a 6.1 talent and glyph guide video here. Now, I know exactly how you guys feel. You just want to get the answers and just get out of there and start playing. I agree with you, so let's get straight into the guide here. So, first row is just like Miss Pandaria, Tiger's Lust every time. Now, in the future, after I make this guide, I don't know how many times or like how long it will be after this guide, I'm going to cover every single ability by itself in the talent tree and explain why you might want to pick this, why you might not. So, in terms of this guide, it's just going to be a generalization. If you want specifics on the reason why I would pick, say, this, or why this isn't good, just stay tuned for future videos on that. But for this guide, we're going to just go over the general stuff. So Tiger's Lust, you want this because there are a lot of snares, a lot of roots, and this is the only kind of root clearing that we have besides using a trinket or nimble brew, which you definitely don't want to do unless you really have to. So definitely pick up that Tiger's Lust, and most importantly as well, it's a utility ability. You can use it on teammates if, say, your healer needs to get behind the pillar, but he's rooted. You can Tiger's Lust him, he can get behind the pillar, he's safe from CC chain. So there are a lot of different things you can do with Tiger's Lust compared to celerity and momentum. So definitely go with Tiger's Lust here for level 30. As of 6.1, they totally buffed Zen Sphere and Chi Burst. Unfortunately, Zen Sphere, just the ability itself, because it's an AoE, it's very easy to break CC. It's still not that great in terms of damage and healing. You don't want Zen Sphere. However, you can choose between Chi Wave and Chi Burst. Chi Burst actually is pretty decent, and if you're trying to get a specific kill window, like compare with Leg Sweep, your Hurricane Strike, and your Fist of Fury, you can throw in a Chi Burst in there for a ton of extra burst damage and possibly even get the kill. So it's up to what you want here. You can get Chi Burst for the burst damage, or if you want sustained consistent healing and damage overall, you might want Chi Wave instead. And for 45, Chi Brew all the way, especially now that Tiger Eye Brew is most important. It got a buff on top of it, so whenever you have Tiger Eye Brew up, it no longer just gives you damage and healing, it also gives you damage reduction. It's a kind of form of defensive cooldown in a way, I suppose, so you definitely want some extra ways to get that Tiger Eye Brew. What better way than Chi Brew giving you the direct stack? So Chi Brew is definitely the best in this one. Level 60, Ring of Peace has been changed. It used to silence people for a couple seconds in Miss Pandaria, but as of 6.0 and still in 6.1, whenever you use it at that time, everyone that's within the area will be CC'd, kind of like a paralysis, so you can CC multiple people, but the thing is, it's not that great, especially if you're sacrificing Leg Sweep, which is a very important 5-second stun for your burst kill windows, so you definitely don't want to sacrifice anything here for Leg Sweep, or sorry, you don't want to sacrifice anything in terms of Leg Sweep for one of these crappy ass abilities, so definitely pick up Leg Sweep. It's better in every way, just keep going with Leg Sweep. In terms of level 75, the rule is still the same in terms of Miss Pandaria. If you don't have a healer with you, use healing elixirs. So if you're doing solo PvE, if you're doing duels, if you're doing double DPS 2s, whatever, anything that you don't have a healer to help you, you want healing elixirs. If you have a healer, you want diffuse magic, because you don't really need the healing here when you can have a most important ability like this one. Now, level 90, Chi Torpedo still sucks, even though they did buff it quite a bit in 6.1. It still kind of sucks though, and it does nothing compared to, say, Invoke Zune or Rushing Jadewind. It's up to you on what you want here. It's up to what you want here. Basically, I've seen a lot of monks that I've been watching lately going with Rushing Jadewind to help with the Chi Burst to get a burst kill in arenas. But if you want Zune, you can. The only reason why I think most people don't pick Zune is because he breaks CC. Now, if Blizzard implemented a change for Zune where it would not break paralysis, I think it would be okay. But unfortunately, Zune is the king of CC breaking when it comes to summoning a pet. So you probably want Rushing Jadewind, but honestly, you can go with either one. It's up to what you want here. In terms of level 100, Chi Explosion used to be decent, but I don't like it, and I never used it, even in 6.0. I knew quite a few Windwalkers that used Chi Explosion or Serenity, but there are two reasons why I used Hurricane Strike in 6.0, even though it wasn't that great. So, Chi Explosion, couple bad things about it. One, it's very heavy on your energy cost, so you can pretty much see yourself being energy starved quite a lot. Not very fun gameplay. Overall, it's a little clunky. The way the effects are with the 3 Chi, 4 Chi, I just don't like it. The only thing good about it was that it did nature damage, so it worked pretty well against DKs, Warriors, and Paladins, and on top of that, it was a ranged ability. If I was being kited, I could still in some way use an ability on them to get some damage on, so it was okay in that sense, but it was just too clunky. I did not enjoy the playstyle and the rotation that required for this ability, so I just skipped it. Now, in terms of Serenity, it's a good cooldown. The problem with it, though, is that it lasts 10 seconds, and when it comes to a PvP scenario, almost no one is going to give you 10 full seconds on them with this up. So chances are you're going to lose at least half, maybe a little bit less than that on this duration. So pretty much, if you're going to go Serenity, only expect to get maybe 4 or 5 if you're lucky, the 6 or 7 seconds with this on them. Otherwise, you're probably going to get CC'd at some point. It happens to me all the time, even in low-rated PvP. So Serenity is kind of a problem in that sense. Hurricane Strike, though, great in every single way. It's kind of like a killing spree. It's overpowered in terms of damage. It's got a short cooldown. It's amazing. Just think of it like a combat rogue with killing spree. It's ridiculous. It's almost like monks came back to Mr. Pandaria status, where you could potentially kill someone from full health all the way to 0 within a short amount of time. So those are the talents. Let's get straight to the glyphs here. Touch of Karma, Touch of Death, same ones that you used in Mr. Pandaria. The only one that changes here is Glyph of Flying Fist, in my opinion. The only things I would replace this with is Freedom Roll. If you're facing something like a mage or a hunter, you're going to want to clear those slow effects with Freedom Roll. If you're facing, or not facing, but if your teammates are like a Shadow Priest or a Warlock, maybe an Affliction Lock, you might want Glyph of Paralysis, so you can take those dots away and your Paralysis can actually CC them. However, I feel that Paralysis we kind of use as a gap closer more than a CC, and most monks, at least in my experience, I don't really play with dot-based comps, so because of that, I don't really need this glyph. But some of you guys may need it depending on what comp you're playing, and like I said, Freedom Roll. Otherwise, I pick Glyph of Flying Fist because you need the 5 yards, because there have been so many times where I activate it, it stuns them, but they were moving at the same time, so when I stun them the first time, they're out of range, and none of the damage is hitting them, so it becomes a very useless ability. So I really need that 5-yard range. And an interesting thing I noticed is if you see, it says 5-yard increase, but when you go down here, it says 10-yard increase, so it's kind of interesting how it gives you 10 yards. And I did test this. I took it off, and it put it back to melee range, which was what 1 yard range, not even, so it kind of gives you 10-yard range increase. I don't know if that's a full 10 yards or the tooltip is just lying. Either way, those are the glyphs I recommend. Also, Glyph of Blackout Kick did come back in 6.1, so make sure you do pick that up, and the other 2 minor glyphs do not matter. So Touch of Death, Touch of Karma, Flying Fist, and then when it comes to talents, Tiger's Lust, Chi Burst, or Chi Wave, that's up to you. Chi Brew, Leg Sweep, Healing Elixirs if you have no healer, Diffuse Magic if you have a healer, Rushing Jade Wind or Zune, that's up to you, and Hurricane Strike for sure. That's the guide there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Actually, one more thing, we'll go over enchants. That's very easy. Blizzard dumbed down the game. You want Double Mark of Frostwolf for the multi-strike. You want versatility on your neck and rings, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and Cloak, you want versatility as well. So you want to stack versatility because monks are not very good in terms of defensives and survival. So that's all you really need to do with enchants. Basically stack Frostwolf on dual wielding, and everything else is versatility. Hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Tried to make it as quick as possible, but I also wanted to explain the reasons why I'm picking certain things. I'll go in depth with each talent and things in the future with separate videos, so stay tuned for those if you want to see those. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick guide. I think it was quick. I don't even know how long this is, but either way, hope it was useful to you guys, and I will see you guys next time.